Today is Buddha's Mother's Day, and we call Lava Duchen. So please talk about what you know Buddhist.
Thank you, Kempo. Yeah, I want to go over about three things that I want to discuss with you. One is that I learned out of Buddhism was that we are all connected. And that was new to me. And before I got into Buddhism, the idea that all of us are connected, all sentient beings are connected, was a new idea. Connected in a big way. The second thing I learned was that my suffering and happiness come from caused by my thinking. My suffering is caused by my negative thinking. My happiness is caused by my positive thinking. And then the connection comes in with the other sentient beings is, hey, it's not only a cause for my happiness or a cause for my suffering, it's also conditions for all sentient beings, happiness or suffering, how I think. So that's really important. And then the other thing that I found out, which was really refreshing to me, that gave me some hope and some faith, is that, Buddhists teach that we are not bad people trying to become good people. We're good people trying to realize who we are. Our basic problem, our suffering, comes from our ignorance and of who we are. And that's a really important thing to do. We're not trying to become something that we're not. We're trying to realize what we are. And that we all have Buddha nature. That's all of us, all sentient beings. And that really makes a big difference. And one of the things that is in the teachings and the path is something called bodhicitta. And that's really, really important. And bodhicitta has two parts. One is, I want to become Buddha so I can help all sentient beings become Buddha, find true happiness. And to have that kind of thinking, two things have to happen. First of all, you have to have renunciation. Basic renunciation is, I don't want to have suffering anymore. And I don't want to have the cause of suffering anymore. And the cause of my suffering is my 5 negative thinkings. And that is, that's anger, jealousy, greed, pride, and ignorance. These are my targets. And once I have that kind of idea in my mind, then the second thing comes to mind to do on the 5 positive thinkings is compassion. Compassion is, I want all sentient beings to be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. That's a big order. I mean, there are countless sentient beings. And so one of the things that Buddha taught was that we need to start someplace where we feel comfortable in having that kind of intention to make all sentient beings free from suffering and the cause of suffering. And that's when we start with Mother. Mother is where we go. And I want to go there and talk about my mother a little bit. I reviewed that before I was coming tonight. I've reviewed that in the past in regards to practicing this teaching of looking at my mom, being thankful for what she did. And looking back at it, I was astounded. My mom was born in 1917 in the middle of the First World War. I was born in 1943 in the middle of the Second War. She lived through a depression, was born in one war, lived through a Great Depression, and gave birth to me in the Second World War, at a time of very uncertainty in the world. There was no clue that we were going to win that war. All our Pacific Fleet was gone. There was a time of dire scare. People were scared. And my mom chose to give birth at that time. And I was not an easy child. I had some health problems right from the get-go. And so I almost died when I was about 6 months old, and then I had some other things, spinal meningitis when I was older, and then I had polio when I was in grade school. And then my dad died when I was 17. But she took care of me all the time. I was an only child, and I really respect her giving me the education. I got a great education. She did a lot of things for me. And I look back and I get that compassion to her. But I have not repaid her. I do not know if I could ever repay her for the things she's done. And I have to admit that when she was alive, I did not give her the attention that I should have. And to this day, that makes me feel somewhat saddened. But now I know that I can repay that through teaching and teaching others about the path. And because really, the only way to really relieve anybody's suffering is by teaching Dharma to them. We are only a condition for each other. Our cause is our own thinking. And until people understand that, they will say, my suffering is out there. My suffering is caused by that person over there, or that country over there. That's what's causing my problems. And they won't look inward. So you need to really understand that. And I did not have the tools when my mom died to tell her that. And one of the things that Buddhism is about is that, we are connected at all levels. We are connected. So I'm still connected to my mom. The other thing is that we are all connected because the Buddhists teach that we all been each other's mother sometime in the past. Since beginningless time, we've been each other's parent. Not all the time, but at least once or more than once or twice, we have been each other's parents. So we are connected in a big way. And it's not so much the fact that we recognize that, it's the fact that we have that feeling. We have that feeling of connection. That makes a big difference. Because what I've learned recently is that my phenomena is caused by my thinking, but it's conditioned with other people's thinking, other sentient beings thinking, other enlightened beings thinking, and Buddha's blessing. So my world depends on others' thinking. So it's not only in their interest, but in my own interest to improve the world through being kind and teaching other people Dharma. That is in my own best interest, in their interest too. It's not, I take it back, my mom was born in World War I was born in the middle of World War II. My 2 kids were born in the middle of the Vietnam War. That's a sad comment on this world. You're looking at a generation, not a very long time, and there was a couple other wars in there I'm not mentioning. But that's not a good thing. Our environment is not a good right now. Okay? There's only one place to look, is our thinking. If we want to improve the world we live in, we have to change our thinking and help other people change their thinking. That's how it occurs. That's the mechanism that works. That's what I learned from Buddhism. That's what I want you to learn from Buddhism, is that you can make a difference. It's one thought at a time. It's one effort each day to decrease your negative thinking. Okay, one of the top things that we need to deal with is our anger. We need to just see it for what it is. Our anger we can just decrease. Jealousy we can just decrease. Our pride we can decrease. Our ignorance we can decrease. That's all doable things. We are not bad people trying to become good people. Our nature, basic nature, is Buddha. So all we have to do is basically change some bad habits. We have habitual negative thinking. We have habitual, I know everybody out there knows it. I'm the cause of my suffering. It's not me. It's somebody else. I know I thought that way for a long time. It was maybe not another person, but it was some kind of institution. It was the government, for God's sake. That's what's causing my problems. Or, you know, in some cases, our families we consider causes our problems. Our parents cause our problems. At one time, I was Catholic, and I thought God caused my problem. You know, God was, I mean, where's this God that's supposed to be all powerful and can help me? He forsook me. And that, you know, I was angry at God. Not a good place to be. Not a good place at all. Look at ourselves is the key. Knowing what to look for is enlightenment. We are Buddha by our nature. All we have to do is get understanding of that, then we get a little experience, and then we get realization. That's what the path is. Our path is understanding through learning, experience through contemplation, and realization through meditation. It's really sort of an easy deal. If you really, really want to simplify it even more, become an enlightened being is get rid of ego clinging. Okay? That's really an easy thing to say, but it's sort of hard because of habitual. But in actuality, we don't have an ego. We're clinging to something that never existed. This is something I've been dealing with for 30 years. When I first heard that, I thought, oh, I have to kill the ego. Well, there's nothing to kill. I'm clinging to something that doesn't exist. The other thing is to really not cling to our phenomena. You know, our suffering is like a child's dream, a child's nightmare. We need to sort of see things as they are. And once we do that, we will find true happiness. And we can help others find true happiness. And I celebrate my mom's life, and I celebrate the Buddha's life, and all mothers in this world, present, in the past, and in the future. Thank you very much.